Drama in Hertogenbosch. This conclusion was full of drama. We're going to talk the rules, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We're going to go to the rule book. As always, my coverage is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use, the Fair Dealing, and the Digital Millennium Act. Gabby Elena Russa. She had 2 set points. But if you know anything about Elise Mertens, guys, she's a fighter as well. Elise Mertens setting an open era record. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Going for the title. She saved 11 match points yesterday. That's an open era record. So Gabby having 2 set points, it was only fitting that Elise Mertens saved both of those as well. And she would force a second set tiebreak for the championship, ladies and gentlemen. Her first grass title. That's right. However, I want to talk the rules, ladies and gentlemen. The service clock. Comment below. I would love your opinion. Do you think the service clock slows the game down or speeds it up? Now, let's go back to before the service clock. My personal opinion, covering tennis, covering thousands of matches, watching so much tennis, I think before the service clock, the game was faster. I think the players serving out of respect did not want to take too long, but you have a lot of players that use that to their advantage, right? They want to keep their returning opponent on the back foot. They want to speed the game up, keep it fast. That's what it's all about. But you have a lot of players now, some of the older players, some younger players, i.e. Laura Sigmund, they're using the entire 25 seconds. And on the second serve, there's no service clock. They're using another 25 seconds. Look, service games are a lot longer, in my opinion, with the service clock. I do not think the service clock has sped the game up. In fact, I think it slowed it down because now players know they have that time to get online, gather themselves, and take their time before they have to serve. Whereas before the service clock, look, it was an unwritten rule that, look, the play, and this is still a legitimate rule, the speed of the game is based on the server's racket. But before the service clock, it was a lot faster. Players had the respect for the fans, their opponents, to keep the game fast. Now, whether it's the men or the women, watch the servers. They're using the entire time, and they're still taking an extra second or two, knowing the chair umpire is probably not going to say anything if you go over a second or two. Back to this match. Yes, Gabby had issues with the win. If you didn't watch the match, Gabby was taking her time on the serve, but it wasn't her fault. It was the elements. The wind was blowing horribly. And look, the ball toss is a skill. It's a skill. Ball toss is a skill. We know that. Some players struggle with it. Some players don't. But when the wind is blowing, what are you going to do? So Gabby was taking her time. Elise Mertens was complaining to the chair umpire, look, I'm exposed to the wind as well. She needs to serve. She's taking too much time. Listen, I don't blame Gabby. If the wind is blowing, what are you going to do? You're at a disadvantage. I think the chair umpire did a great job by not penalizing Gabby, but Elisa was not happy, and the things got a little chippy here in the second set. Of course, Gabby blowing 2 set points, and yes, Elise Mertens would pull this thing off. This is her first grass championship, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to her, but Elise Mertens always so classy in the victory speech, saying, look, congratulations to Gabby. Coming through qualifiers is extremely tough. And yes, we want to acknowledge Gabby as well. Again, if I'm starting a cup team, Gabby's on it because she's that good of a player. She's mentally tough, and that's what I look for. I want the fighters. I want the warriors. And both of these ladies are warriors. Elise Mertens adds to her resume. She has 4 major doubles titles, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. She's only missing the Roland Garros for a career slam, but she won 2 double slam titles with Arina Sabalenka. People forget that. I want to say the Australian Open and the U.S. Open. 39 weeks as doubles number 1. She's also a WTA doubles finalist champion. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, with Veronika Kudermetova. So she's got 10 singles titles now, winning this grass title, her first. So she's double-digit titles. She actually made the 20,000, what am I saying? she made the 2018 Australian Open semifinals, where she lost to Wozniacki, who would later go on and beat Halep, right? Didn't she beat Halep? Trivia, am I correct? Who did Caroline beat for her Australian Open slam title? I think it was Halep. I could be wrong. Now, In terms of Elise Mertens, I do want to say congratulations, guys. She's an amazing champion. Again, she saved 7 match points against Ekaterina yesterday. That's an open era record. She's got 25 wins this year. She's now ranked 8th on tour by winning this title. So congratulations. And that's for wins. So she's ranked 8th on the tour year for having most wins. So she's ranked number 8th with 25 wins. Of course, she's behind players like, Sabalenka, Iga, Coco. But congratulations to Mertens. We have in a beautiful hug. A lot of people didn't think they were going to hug because this match was very, very chippy. Congratulations to Mertens, guys. We're going to head to, we have Berlin, a lot of tennis there, and we have Nottingham. So stay tuned. Grass coverage continues. I'm your host, Good Energy. But comment below, has the service clock sped the game up or slowed it down? My personal opinion, I think it slowed it down because the players are using all of that time and there's no service clock on the second serve. They're using even more time. They're using it to catch their breath. They're using it to refocus on their game plan, get their thoughts together, where before it wasn't like that. Players got on the line and they played a lot more off of instinct and skill and intuition. Now players are thinking a lot more with this time and they're using it to their advantage. And I think it's slowing the game down. What do you think? Carlos Alcaraz, in the words of him, the service clock is bad for the game. Tennis in a minute. Comment below.